From a young age, our heroine knew she wasn't pretty based on how others treated her. Her relatives would criticize her for taking after her mother, Hong Hyun-suk, instead of her handsome father, I.M. Jae-pil. They made snide comments like, "She'll need plastic surgery," or "She must have been adopted." Amidst the laughter, Mom had whispered that she just needs to do well in school. While she once dreamed of transforming into a beautiful fairy like the cartoons on TV, the neighborhood kids ridiculed her for it. She then decided that characters from horror manhwas were far more relatable, for she believed that she was born with a cursed face. Now in high school, our heroine, I.M. Jo Kyung, is one of 2 girls in class who don't spend their free time applying makeup or fixing their hair. Jo Kyung opts to read her manhwa and listen to heavy metal music instead, offering to share with her fellow classmate Hye Min, who declines. The catty leader of the popular kids, Saemi, notices Jo Kyung jamming out alone. Jo Kyung doesn't notice them calling out, "Hey, dumpling!" until one of Saemi's underlings aims a paper ball at her head. Jo Kyung immediately leaves to buy them dumplings as their shuttle. She gets indignant when she hears her classmates mocking her for being the errand girl and storms Bangkok inside. However, all she can do is confirm their orders with a goofy smile. On her way back from the store, Jo Kyung peers inside the cafeteria to catch a glimpse of the handsome cafeteria oppa, Hyun Bin. He was out running an errand and stops in front of Jo Kyung to say hello, taking one of her earbuds to pop into his own ear. "Pff, is that you, Miche?" Hyun Bin recognizes the band and tells her that they have the same taste in music. He begins to headbang and dance along while Jo Kyung's heart threatens to pound out of her chest. Mesmerized by his looks, Jo Kyung tries to calm herself until she shocks Hyun Bin by accidentally yelling out loud, "Calm down already!" The popular kids wonder where their dumplings are and see Jo Kyung and Hyun Bin from their classroom window. One of Saemi's lackeys notes that Hyun Bin hits on Saemi all the time. During lunch, Jo Kyung lines up and gushes about Hyun Bin, receiving unenthusiastic responses from Hye Min. Her excitement while wondering if he reciprocates her feelings catches the attention of other students. Jo Kyung remains oblivious as others begin to make fun of her, but Hye Min hears them and excuses herself to avoid the attention. Hyun Bin agrees to meet with Jo Kyung during lunch tomorrow, and Saemi can't believe that her errand girl is actually shooting her shot. That night, Jo Kyung works hard in the kitchen baking cookies instead of studying, earning her an earful from her mother. We get a glimpse into Jo Kyung's world. Her room is decked out with skeletal figurines, and the shelves are overflowing with horror books. Jo Kyung prepared a set of metal concert tickets and rereads her confession letter. "You're a fool who doesn't know how I feel, and I'm a fool who only has eyes for you." She giddily acts out a scenario whereby Hyun Bin accepts her love, and she puckers up for a smooch with her doll. Jo Kyung's brother, I.M. Jo Young, storms into her room at this moment to complain about her loud music and leaves after saying he'd rather go blind than to witness that again. On confession day, Jo Kyung posts about her nervousness on a forum, and others comment words of encouragement. She gets on her bus, and there's a stark difference between how she and Saemi are treated by the crowd of students. Jo Kyung gets pushed around roughly, but everyone clears the way for Saemi while whispering about her beauty. At school, Jo Kyung sets her gift on the desk before quickly heading off on a dumpling run. The bullies rummage through the box, callously tossing around the cookies and making fun of her for putting so much effort into the confession. Mean girl Saemi decides to speak to Hyun Bin, pouting that she was so upset to hear rumors that he was dating Jo Kyung. The smitten cafeteria worker blames himself for making her feel that way, and she lets him believe that he has a chance with her. Mom runs a salon and is quite close with her customers. When she explains that her husband isn't around and is busy on the phone these days, they worry that he's out having an affair. Mom would be okay with that as long as he's not in trouble financially. As if on cue, 2 thuggish men enter the salon looking for Im Jae-pil's wife. At school, Jo Kyung hands her gift to Hyun Bin, who's noticeably less kind after talking to Saemi. Someone films the confession from nearby, catching the rejection. Hyun Bin's offended that Jo Kyung thinks that he would actually date her. He crushes her soul and says he was being nice because she was an outcast. "If you don't have the looks, at least have smarts," he criticizes, knocking her gift to the ground. Before stalking away, he tells her to look in the mirror with her spare time instead. Rubbing salt into her wound, the entire bully squad pops out and rejoices at her misery with Hye Min in tow, uncomfortably filming the entire interaction. Saemi narrates to the audience that they just witnessed the ugliest girl in school asking someone out. Jo Kyung lightly pushes Saemi away and asks her to stop, and the sole guy of the group pushes her to the ground for hitting the leader. He proceeds to dump the entire box of cookies over her head. "Why do you guys hate me so much?" Jo Kyung sobs that she never did anything to them. Saemi jabs her forehead and replies that it's because she's ugly. Jo Kyung makes a run for it and on her way home sees that the video has been uploaded to social media. Her classmates leave comments that she's ugly and has bad taste. Heartbroken and humiliated, Ju-kyung sobs openly on the street. She pops into the nearest building to freshen up, then takes a good look at herself in the mirror. Ju-kyung tosses her glasses in frustration, remembering the mean comments about her looks. She cries that she can't possibly return to school since nobody likes her. Poor girl. Ju-kyung ends up standing on the roof of the high-rise building, looking out at the cityscape for hours. She's prepared to jump when suddenly a billboard in the distance catches her eye. It's a message to commemorate former idol Young Se-yeon, as it would have been his birthday had he not passed away. She finds it tragic that he would have turned 18 today, then realizes that she doesn't want to die after all. Just as she comes to this conclusion, a boy runs to her and pulls her off the ledge, causing her glasses to fly off as she tumbles on top of him. The boy, Lee Soo-ho, is relieved. He lectures her, wondering what she could possibly be going through that led her to wanting to die. He barks that her loved ones would be devastated, and it seems personal when he claims that they could live in guilt for not being able to save her. Soo-ho gruffly tells her not to die and heads back inside. Ju-kyung can't see anything because she lost her glasses, following him down the stairs blindly because the elevator is out of service. She hangs onto the railings for dear life and wails, "Ajushi, wait for me!" Without her vision, she can't tell that he's just a teen. He speeds on ahead until he hears her fall, then reluctantly offers to help her up. She accidentally grabs his butt, LOL. Soo-ho ends up piggybacking Ju-kyung down the stairs, and our bumbling heroine attempts to make conversation. She figures that his angry reaction to seeing her on the roof is because he knew someone who had the same thoughts as her and passed away. He ignores the question and huffs that she's heavy, which prompts Ju-kyung to give him a shoulder massage to cheer him on. She zips her lips when he warningly says, "Ajuma!" By the time they make it to the ground floor, his legs are quaking and he's exasperated to learn that the elevator is back in service. Soo-ho puts Ju-kyung in a taxi, and she sincerely tells him that he should cheer up. The one who died wouldn't want those they left behind to suffer for too long. She leaves him with the advice to be happy. Knowing that Mom will be angry that she lost her new glasses, Ju-kyung suddenly remembers that she left her a voicemail earlier that day. She had thanked Mom for raising her and promised to be born again as a beautiful daughter of hers in their next lives. Ju-kyung calls Mom urgently, but she doesn't pick up because she's busy declaring war at home. Ju-young and his eldest sister, I.M. Hee-kyung, do their best to hold their mother back, but she's livid that Dad went out and invested in what was clearly a scam. Her legs go flying as she vows to kill him tonight. By the looks of Soo-ho's home, he's well off and lives alone. He thinks back to when he first spotted Ju-kyung on the roof. In her place, he had imagined the idol Se-yeon smiling back at him. Without hesitation, he'd pulled him to safety, but it was actually Ju-kyung that he saved. After showering, he contemplates Ju-kyung's parting advice to be happy. Ju-kyung returns home to see her siblings comforting their mother, who cries, "I'd rather die instead." Out of context, Ju-kyung dissolves into tears and assumes that this was all her fault. She blubbers that it's all because she was born ugly, not taking after Dad like Hee-kyung and Ju-young did. Not reading the room, she cries, "I'm ugly because I take after you!" The Im siblings try to shut her up, but she begs for plastic surgery and promises not to die. The siblings drag their sister away before she angers their mom further. Ju-kyung looks at her short contact list and opens her one-sided conversation with Hye-min, belatedly realizing that she just assumed they were friends. She wishes that she could drop out of school. Hee-kyung goes out for drinks with Mom and learns that they're going to have to sell their apartment and move back into their old home to repay the debt Dad incurred. Hee-kyung offers to help out, but Mom insists that she'll take care of her own husband's mess. Ju-kyung updates the forum that she got rejected because she's ugly. One comment suggests overcoming this with the power of makeup, linking her to a blog post. Ju-kyung lights up and shows up to school the next day, turning heads everywhere. She thinks that it must be because she looks good, but her rosy cheeks, white face, and dark eyeliner causes a ruckus at school for the wrong reasons. The kids snap photos, and when she gets home, she nearly gives Mom a heart attack for looking like a ghost. Ju-kyung begs to transfer schools, ecstatic to hear that it'll actually happen because they must move back to their old neighborhood. She posts a picture of her makeup on the forum, and the users give constructive criticism about what she can improve on. Using her savings, Ju-kyung goes on a shopping spree and spends her days following makeup tutorials. While there's a lot of room for improvement, she literally shaves off half an eyebrow, eek. Ju-kyung works hard day and night until she masters the art of eye makeup. Soo-ho barges into a manhwa shop and gasps to find that the first page of the book he wanted was ripped out. The shopkeeper figures he can just start on page 2, but is quickly pulled in by Soo-ho's passionate rant. "Do you start with verse 2 of the national anthem?" The shopkeeper promises to order a new copy for tomorrow, and Soo-ho leaves without another word. The man just grins that the boy hasn't changed in the past 10 years. The Im family moves back into their old place, and on the first day of school, Ju Kyung expertly applies her newly learned techniques, transforming her looks so drastically that her family is stunned silent. She turns heads at her new school, and this time, they're good stares. They gasp that she's a goddess. She and Ju Young bicker silently while checking in at the teacher's office. Her new homeroom teacher, Han Jun-woo, welcomes her warmly, and they're interrupted by the loud vice principal who assumes that she's the student at the top of her class. One look at her abysmal report card is all it takes for him to turn his attention to Ju Young, but Mr. Han assures Ju Kyung that there's more to life than good grades. Ah, I like him already. The vice principal's booming voice announces Soo-ho's entrance. Looks like they'll be classmates. Of course, Ju Kyung doesn't recognize him, but she deems him to be the most handsome person she's ever seen. Mr. Han tasks a reluctant Soo-ho with escorting Ju Kyung to their classroom. They're stopped by another student along the way, and Ju Kyung accidentally bumps into Soo-ho, leaving a foundation face print on his jacket. Oops, if it wasn't obvious before, Soo-ho is quite standoffish and gives the girl 3 seconds of his time. The underclassman confesses and gives Soo-ho a gift of macarons imprinted with pictures of him. He smacks the box onto the floor and continues walking to his classroom without another word. He ignores his classmates until they alert him of his dirty jacket. Soo-ho heads back outside to where Ju Kyung is reapplying her foundation, tossing the jacket onto her head. Mr. Han introduces Ju Kyung to the class, who all accept her with open arms. She realizes that being pretty changes how people treat her. Everyone except Soo-ho, that is. So, when she's assigned the seat next to him, she claims to have poor eyesight and is given the seat behind a bright girl named Choi Soo-ah instead. Soo-ah is super outgoing and befriends Ju Kyung immediately after first period, asking for her number. She and another classmate are surprised that Ju Kyung's not on the app Stargram because they know she'd be popular on it. Kang Soo-jin joins them, and Soo-ah introduces her as her best friend and the queen of Saebom High. Soo-jin just smiles when Soo-ah claims that there will be contention for the title with Ju Kyung here now, and apologizes that her chatty friend can be annoying. During break, Ju Kyung attempts to wash Soo-ho's jacket but makes it worse. She accidentally flicks water onto him just outside the bathroom, and, irritated, he instructs her to toss it out. The other girls witness this, and Soo-ah explains that he's known as the handsome psychopath. Soo-ah links arms with Ju Kyung as they walk down the hall. When dumplings are mentioned, Ju Kyung instinctively offers to buy some, but they just wanted her to join them for lunch. Ju Kyung hides her love for horror and heavy metal, but shares that she loves spicy food, so they decide to meet for tteokbokki after school to celebrate their friendship. Ju Kyung learns that Soo-jin is not just a pretty face, but also has the second highest grades in school, after Soo-ho. Soo-ah calls Ju Kyung a pretty girl, but she thinks to herself that it isn't true. After sharing tteokbokki, the friends head to an arcade to play games. They make an effort to pull Ju Kyung into the fun, and she really enjoys herself. They end the day with sticker booth photos, and Ju Kyung is happy that she now has the one thing she'd always wanted: friends. When she gets home, Ju Kyung squeals after being invited to her first ever group chat. She's touched to see the photos they took today, and tells the girls that she made a Stargram account. Ju Young takes some unflattering photos and threatens to show them to their schoolmates. Ju Kyung successfully gets the phone, but can't unlock it, so she offers to get him a copy of a manhwa and cup Ram Yoon if he deletes it. On her way out, Ju Kyung discovers that she has already racked up 100 likes on her new Stargram post. She ducks into the manhwa shop, Prince Comics, and discovers that the shopkeeper has remained the same since she was a child. He's happy to see her and finds her adorable. Ju Kyung is happy to be back and reaches up for the book she wanted. However, a guy reaches for the manhwa before she gets to it and walks away. They fight over the copy of the book and she jumps for it, falling on top of him in the process. She is shocked to see her new classmate Soo-ho, while he recognizes her from the rooftop.